Hey girls, Haley here. So I have no makeup on, don't judge me. I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation routine because people have requested it and I always kind of skip it in makeup tutorials, or I'm planning on always skipping it in makeup tutorials. So I thought I should go ahead and do a tutorial on here in case anybody's wondering. So yeah, I'm just going to get started and I'm going to go ahead and use my Revlon Color Stay. This is what I do every single day, is my Revlon Color Stay for combination oily skin and 150 buff, which is the latest color they make because I'm basically a ghost. So this thing, basically I get like a dot on my finger and I am almost out of my foundation. But I get about that much on my finger and I go ahead and blot that over each cheekbone and down my nose. And then if I have any extra, I go ahead and put it underneath my eyes because need it there. And then I get one more. I am so almost out of this stuff. Do little dots around here and then a swipe across my forehead so that I look awesome. Put foundation all the places that I want it, and then I take my Sigma Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki F80, which looks like this, and I go ahead and just blend everything in, and I start out with my mouth right here, and I go in little circular motions around, just blending out my foundation. Now this brush makes this foundation because people always talk about how cakey this foundation is and how like unnatural it looks, and when I first started wearing it, I thought the same thing and I was kind of annoyed by it, but this brush makes all the difference in the world. Like, I just cannot even tell you. Then I obviously do the other side of my mouth. And then I basically do the exact same thing I just did on the other side. And this is all I do if I'm just, like running around, if I just have errands to run in the day, or if I'm just going to school for the day. This is basically all I do because it covers everything enough and I don't really have to spend too long doing anything else. Right, so that's it, just buffed in all over my skin. I've got kind of an even coverage now. Is go ahead and do my concealer, and I'm going to use my Estee Lauder Ideal Light Brush On Illuminator Concealer. This I got it as a gift and it's been my favorite, so I'm using it up, and it is in the shade 01. And I just use it underneath my eyes right here because I definitely have some under eye bags, and then if I have any hyperpigmentation going on around my mouth or in my nose right here, then I go ahead and put it there. Alright, so I do the same thing that I did with my foundation, just to like dab my concealer where I want it. And I realize this is an outdated way of doing concealer and foundation. It's not really in vogue anymore to like put the dots and blend them out. I just find that with things as full coverage as the products that I'm using, if I don't, then I end up with way more than I need or want. So I just do it this way. So then it ends up having a little bit less on my skin. Okay, then I use my, oh, this isn't a Sigma one. I usually use my Sigma version of this, but it has disappeared. So I'm going to use this one. And this is the C433 Pro Blending Fluff from Crown Brush, which is, alright, it's the exact same thing as a Sigma E25 or a MAC 217. What I do with that is I blend out these little things just the same way that I blended out my foundation, in just little circular motions. And I find that that gets a nice, even airbrush looking coverage on it. I like it a lot because it's really, really fine. You don't see any buildup that way. I've been doing the little, you know, the flat paddle brush concealer for a while, and I just got so frustrated by it because it would always end up cakey or patchy, and it was never even, and it never just looked effortless, and it always bothered me. And so one day I was like, forget it, and I grabbed this brush, and I've been using it ever since because it works way better. Okay, so that's an extra step that I take occasionally. If I'm having a really bad skin day, I'll take that extra step, or if I'm filming a video or I'm going somewhere special, I'll use that step. And then the very last thing I do in the summer, and occasionally in the winter, just depending on my mood and depending on the makeup I'm doing, is I can wear the Estee Lauder Double Wear Loose Powder. And again, I am in shade 1, Intensity 1. I love this powder. It has a really, really pretty finish, and it's actually fairly full coverage, and it lasts pretty well. So if you're in the market for a powder, that's my recommendation. I like it a lot. And then I always, if I've done my under eye concealer, I use the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35, which looks like this, and it fits really nicely in my under eyes. And it's actually dense enough that it does a really good job of packing the powder underneath there, so I like to use that one. So I just put that one underneath my eye first because I don't know about you guys, but I get under eye creasing a lot. I mean, if you can't tell, I have very deep wrinkles underneath my eyes. I don't know if it's from, you know, not sleeping enough or just genetics or pulling out my eye too much, but I have a lot of wrinkles there. So I have to really pack on my powder so that I don't get little creases underneath my eye. I'm sure this is an attractive face right now. Alright, and then in the summertime, because I get really oily through my T-zone, I pull a little bit down over my nose. And then sometimes a little bit just through here and over my brows. And then sometimes if I'm going in a hurry, I just go ahead and use this to finish off my foundation, or my powder foundation, but a lot of times I go ahead and switch over to this monster, which is the Large Powder F20 by Sigma. This thing is huge. Do you see that? It's like my cheek. Yep. But I really like it for applying powder. So I go ahead and I'm putting this into the cap of the thing. I'm tapping it off. And then I just brush it really lightly over my face. And this is all, like, if I'm going somewhere where I want to really look nice, that's the whole foundation routine that I do. But most of the time I just do the first step of foundation. But if I'm recording a video, I've done all 3 of these steps. So I thought I should go ahead and show you guys all these steps. So that is my foundation routine. Those are the products that I use every single day, the brushes I use every single day. Love them to death. And I think those are really, really great products for oily skin. I have really oily skin normally. Right now it's the winter, so it's not as oily. But in the summer, for sure, I was doing this exact same routine, and it worked very, very well. And I think it looks really nice and natural. A lot of times people will look at my foundation and tell me that I have really beautiful skin, when really it's just that I've worked the foundation that day. You know what I mean? I think it looks really nice with the application that I've done. It looks like nice and airbrushed and stuff in real life, and so I love that about it. So, all that said, that's my foundation routine. Hope you guys like it, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye!